In this video help tutorial, I'm going to do an overview of the application and what's included and what is the purpose of the application. Let's start out by going to the App Map main. And what is that? It's a menu system of the app that allows you to pick any screen listed here in these. The primary screen is the History of Everything main. The History of Everything videos is tutorials like the one you're viewing that you selected to do the overview. Since this is the primary screen or the parent screen, and I'm going to explain this, what a parent screen is, but these are the sub-screens or child screens to this parent screen. What is a parent screen? It's the one we're viewing behind here where we take in most of the basic information, and then this record using the ID number 1 will link to these screens, allowing you to take information that was created in this screen and use these other screens to produce data. Okay, now since I'm saying that, what is the data? This thing is called the History of Everything, and this is the main screen. What does it mean by the History of Everything? If you have hobbies or you have interests, or maybe you're a history buff, or you are a NASCAR fan, or you're a garden person who likes to work in the garden and understand everything about your garden, what you would do is create a main record. In this case, we talked about Napoleon. So this is his screen, and all the information that I would collect, and images, and even video, I could actually pull from searches online and pull it together. Now, why would I want to have something like that? Well, if I had an interest in Napoleon and I wanted to know about their history, and then I wanted to be able to go directly to and find information whenever I wanted to, say on my iPhone or my iPad or desktop, I could immediately find that information by using a search. And you could either search within this record, or you can go down to the portal record and search in there for something specific. Same thing with photos. You could look up certain photos and find information. Now, the whole purpose of this particular application is going to be an introduction as a database application. I'm going to put a price on this that is very inexpensive, so you can get an introduction to how to use database applications, so that you would be able to learn more about the inner workings of how to use an application like this to find information that you may be interested in, or to create a bibliography that can be searched and have interesting information that is subject to, say, Napoleon. So for example, over here I have a topic, name, and description. I have Napoleon's name over here as the principal person, but I could also put, say, a comma and a subject about it. Maybe it's the Napoleon's Wars or something like that. And then I could take all the information for that and do a short description by the topic name. And this is the subject or main topic on this screen. I have a record theme background, and you can add anything. This whole area can include an image or even a video if you wanted to put a video in there. When you click on the picture itself, you'll see that it says View, Replace, Export, or Delete. Now, if I wanted to replace it, would go out to the iPhone or iPad or a desktop to find an image that you're interested in putting in there. And then if you want to click on View, it'll make it one screen and very large as far as the screen is concerned. If this was a video that I'm putting on this screen, it would automatically allow you, when you click on it, to run the video if you want to. The same thing is true of other photo screens. If they're related to a video or a still image, you can go ahead and use that information and run it by clicking in what is called a container field, and that's what this is. If I clicked right now on this screen, I'm going out as far as being on a iPad Retina, and this is actually, I'm in the Xcode simulator, and what the Xcode simulator does, it runs the application as a simulated image. And the text and everything is not that pretty as far as the application is concerned. But because it's on the iPad, I'll demonstrate. I've had people say, well, the text is too small and I can't read it and I'm really not happy with the application. Watch this. I can zoom it up, and then I can scroll across the screen to read stuff, and it comes in very, very, very clear. Now, the iPhone is basically what would provide that kind of a situation where you have that. Now, on the iPad, if you tap with 3 fingers, or you use your fingers to spread them or close them, it'll zoom in and zoom out. And a lot of people don't seem to know that own an iPad or iPhone. Now, not every application allows you to do that on the iPhone or iPad, so it's related to what is the application available. What can it do? Well, in this case, you can use all the finger gestures that are included in the Apple Toolbox. Now, getting back to the actual application, the price on this application, I'm going to put it out there. It's just really something cheap so you can have an opportunity to see what OnTarget Solutions can do and how we design applications. And you'll find that it's kind of a small app, easy to use, but it has a big ability to do a lot of information and manage tons of information. And this is for a person that wants to use their hobby or use their intellect and use the history or something of anything and make records for it with photos and everything. It could even be about your family history, like genealogy or whatever. It's really up to you how you want to use these. And since every one of the records that are in here are separate and distinct, for example, I could say go next, and now I'm looking at NASCAR sports. Kyle Busch, this is a hobby of mine, and the year to start with was 2016 because this was his year that he won the truck, as you can see it here, truck championship for 2015. This particular thing here gives you a lot of information about him, and you can scroll up and down the fields on any of these. And of course, if you click in to edit something, what you can do is you can actually type in information that will fill or manage information. So for example, if I wanted to go in and start typing, I could with the keyboard. Now, what I've done is I'm going to show over here real quick. I have to make some keyboard changes, and I'll say the software keyboard. It wasn't actually added until I actually added in the simulator. So now when I click in a field, it'll pop up, and then I can go ahead and add it. At the same time, I can select the text, either the text I'm a field or say maybe a little bit of information, or I can say select all. I can say paste text. I can undo what I did, and then I can pick style, which is kind of interesting. It allows you to change the font, the color, and size, and you can make it bold, italic, or underlined. So you can do some really special things. You can see in here there's large text, and say for example I wanted to take something in here, and now with a finger gesture I just sweep it, and then when I hold down the mouse it gives me that look like this, and now I can go in and I can actually do a slide over this. I can't simulate it in the simulator because it doesn't allow me to do that, but what happens is you can take as much text as you want, and then you could change it with the style and make it look like you want to. Okay, now there's something for each record that's a button over here that's called a popover. And what a popover does is it brings up these tabs over here. And what that is for is that when I look at the tabs, you'll see I actually added some information here that will show up in an individual portal if I wanted to go to a portal and read that singular record with a larger view of the information that's in there. Now I can also finger gesture that open this up so I can see it. This can have as much information as you want in it, and you can scroll through it. Like it goes to the bottom to edit it, but I can grab the text and move through it anywhere I want to with a finger gesture by moving it. I'm using a cursor here just so you can see what I'm doing. When I click out of it, it'll return the record to its full size and allow you to read the information as you see here. Like I said before, I'm in a simulator, so the text is not all that clear. Next thing is if I wanted to, a location map, say I wanted to go to Mooresville, North Carolina, I would type in Mooresville, North Carolina. It would show me the image on the screen in the map of Mooresville. And then what I can do, and by the way, I can take this over here and slide it normally. Sometimes you have to do it within, this is a simulator, it doesn't do everything it's supposed to, but it should allow you to slide it. You can also just click in here. Now what it does also sometimes is it gives you a thing up at the top that says log in, and when you log in you can also pull up maps that you stored within Google Maps and put those in here so you can see them. In addition to that, it has all the same capabilities, like it go right to the local place where you're at by clicking here, and then when you click on this it brings a sidebar up where you can go to a location from a location, and then you can save those. If you're logged in, you can save those locations in your private maps. Okay, the next thing is a reference screen, and this is going to be Google. And if I'm going to put in there something like NASCAR or whatever, it'll go to those websites, so you can pick those websites and get information there. Then there's also a photo thing. For example, it says, by the way, the location and reference screens, you need to have a connection to the internet in order to use those and view those. The next thing is photos. I can create a place where I have photos included in here and some information about the photos. And I'm going to come back and explain this screen in more detail in another video, but basically I wanted to give you an overview of the things that it does. Now, because I have a popover here, it will populate the information for the portal and the photo portal from the screen. So you don't have to navigate to these screens in order to make entries. In fact, you should not be doing that. You create those in this screen using this tab, and then you can view those where you want to in the portal when you're within that screen on the popover here. Okay, now this is kind of an introduction, and what it's supposed to do is just give you the idea what is on the screens and what is in the menus. We'll come back as though we're going to actually create things and add information, and we'll go through and tell you how it's actually done. Thank you.